Have you ever watched the film and felt that trope is familiar? More specifically, have you watched Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and felt like you've seen it before?
Yes, sir.
Well, I know what it was. Something called Halo Reach. Hurrah, Marines! I'm Freddy, and today I bring a writer's perspective to show you how Star Wars saw value in a Halo story and turned it into one of their best films.
Sir, consider it done.
Before we start, have in mind that inspiration's healthy, and it's everywhere. Halo itself benefited big time from what Star Wars have done throughout the years, so without further ado, let's go. It's easy to list what's similar about Rogue One and Reach. Both go for a darker and grittier tone compared to their predecessors. Both delve into the harsh reality of war, bringing dilemmas about sacrifice, choices, and heroism. In both narratives, we feel the desperation against overwhelming odds. Both feature a group of diverse characters with unique backgrounds and skills who come together for a common cause. In both narratives, these groups embark in what they know is a suicide mission, which demands strategic engagements and courage to make the difference amidst the chaos of war. Still, I want to go deeper than that. Rogue One and Reach share similar natures, mostly because they're spin-offs, serving as prequels to their respective franchises, providing context and backstory to the existing lore. These were made to work as part of a trilogy, allowing script writers to venture even more in terms of narrative construction, taking more risks, as every big decision in their previous works were already made. The outcomes are already known. Star Wars Episodes 4, 5, and 6 were already a watershed for the cinema. Halo 1, 2, and 3 were already an absolute success in sales and critics on Xbox. By the way, if you're a Star Wars or a Halo fan, such as myself, and you're new here, consider subscribing. I mean, how crazy is to start on YouTube in 2023? All that said, let's get back to it. There's much less concern in making a product that happens before those already established trilogies. That's because, in the head of a screenwriter, when it comes to entering characters, the final path can be bolder, since they weren't seen in the original story anyway. But when it comes to well-known characters, you already know what's gonna happen, and when it's gonna happen, so their roles become much less concerning, making us feel safe about them.
That data is classified Tier 1. I could send you to the brig for interfering with my work.
Additional stories add great value, since they're part of the build-up for the consequences that were already resolved, not to lead us to new ones. In the end of Avengers Infinity War, certainly you tried to figure out countless consequences for the Marvel Universe, and for 1 year, future was a mystery. In neither Rogue One nor Reach this was a problem, as they were in a position they could take the exact same risks. So, they have similar natures. What an easy way to justify having a similar progression, right? This was no coincidence. The main similarities between the two productions get evident from the middle to the end, when the plot starts taking shape from building towards the outcome. In Reach, the Noble team joins a risky extraction mission, willing to escort Cortana that not only had data of an artifact the House believed to be the main weapon to win the war against the Covenant, but vitally important data about the human race. Being the most important of all, where's Earth? As the Covenant are larger in numbers, discovering Earth's location could mean the extermination of humans in their core. Meanwhile, by the side of the Rebel Alliance, the Rogue One joins a risky extraction mission, willing to steal the plans for the destruction of the Death Star. Not succeeding in this mission basically means an intergalactic failure, since this would lead the Empire to total domination, resulting in the extermination of the Rebel Alliance. The stakes are pretty much the same. The dogfight sequences, show the past half of both productions, also replaced with a similar purpose, to create a barrier, isolating the protagonist inside a chaotic scenario. The moment George activates the bomb, there is an illusion that this barrier would be trespassed, facilitating escaping from Reach, which thought it had lost control of the atmosphere. However, as a massive Covenant troop arrives, this only shows us the group would never leave the planet.
Slipspace rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading it?
Slipspace rupture detected.
Multiple Covenant signatures.
Slipspace
Is anyone
rupture
else?
detected.
They're everywhere.
Slipspace
Yeah,
rupture
lucky
detected.
the whole damn.
Same when the Empire activates the shield around Scarif, limiting the amount of help the combatants get, this way making the execution of the mission way slower. Eventually, they break the shield, but with enough time only to transmit the data. They would never get out of there. The consequences are pretty much the same. Noble team realizes they're losing the battle and they won't be able to leave Reach.
You want to know if we're losing?
I know we're losing. I want to know if we've lost.
Same as Rogue One realizes they're losing the battle when they won't be able to leave Scarif.
You can still send the plans to the fleet. If they open the shield gate, you can broadcast from the tower.
That's why everyone needs to make sacrifices on behalf of the mission. Safe to say, their reactions are pretty much the same. It's rather interesting the moment when all the characters need to face this fact, as it's the moment they see themselves before the greatest purpose of their lives. The acceptance in knowing there's no way back don't let them hesitate. They need to get things right. Decisions must be correct. They need to believe that every little action will really help accomplishing the mission. Each detail is important and someone needs to take the leap in these decisive moments. The moments when the characters need to understand when their sacrifices are in order. As you can see, the reactions to the consequences generated from the high stakes are pretty much the same.
Thank you for sharing.
These farewell moments were extremely cautious. The writers chose for what I like to call rule of contrast and resemblance, when important decisions in the script are based in core characteristics from a character, which helps emphasizing these aspects even more in each of them. Number 1, Carter, the leader, crashes his own ship in order to see the mission through. Commanders simply command, but leaders take the front. Resemblance.
It's been an honor, sir.
Likewise. I'll do what I can to draw their fire.
Chirrut Îmwe. He had a special connection with the Force, trusted in it and got protected one last time. Resemblance. Noble 2, Kat. She was the team's brain. Dies with a bullet to the head. Resemblance.
Where does he get off calling a demolition a priority one?
I heard something similar happens to whoever forgets to like this video. You know, just saying. Baze Malbus. His first appearance was saving his friend, and his last one was failing in protecting him. Contrast. Notice how both his first and last appearances are attached to his friend. Noble 4, Emil, the badass, CQC specialist, always sharpening his bat knife. Dies stabbed. Resemblance.
Who's next? I'm ready! How about you?
Buddy Rook dies for the rebel cause, although he started the story as an Imperial pilot. Contrast. Also, he was a pilot that died in his own ship. Resemblance. Noble 5, George, heavy weapons specialist, dies in a gigantic explosion. Resemblance. He was the only noble born in Reach, left his home, still, the only one that died far from its ground. Contrast.
Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor.
K2SO, an Imperial droid that dies for the rebel cause. Contrast. Besides, he dies inside an Imperial installation, coming back to the place he was designed to be in. Resemblance.
Goodbye!
Noble 6, the Lone Wolf, dies alone. Resemblance. He fought to the end, even though they had already lost. He fell, but brought some with him for sure. I mean, it depends on how much you endured. Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor, two lone characters. They didn't get along in the beginning, but now die in each other's company, accepting their own death, but feeling accomplished. They weren't alone, at least not this time. Contrast. They spend too much time of their lives with no perspective of something bigger. Now, they die for the greatest of the causes. Also a contrast. Oh wait, I've forgotten someone. Number 3, June. The one who likes to speak the most was never heard again. Over time, that's a solid contrast. The only noble not to die in the fall of Reach. When are we gonna see him on the games again? We demand answers. In my opinion, Rogue One did a spectacular job in translating Reach's trope into the Star Wars universe, and still keeping it Star Wars. Works like these need to have something special, because when we look back, we need to remember why they exist in the first place, other than making money. For more things Star Wars and Halo, subscribe. I got a lot more to share, not only about them, but about many things we love. Till the next time.